The question of the day is, why do we have grief right now in 2020 over this particular election, and what makes this anxiety different? Why are we experiencing anxiety right now? It's a good question. What I'm observing collectively is that for the first time, it's hitting us. And this anxiety runs deep in the collective. It's hitting us that we actually don't have a democracy. And that truth is hitting home in some really hard ways right now. So it's not necessarily about which politician wins. We're finally observing for the first time that we do not have a democracy. We've watched it just slowly collapse over the years, and now we are forced to admit that we actually do not have a democracy. Now, I'm not trying to sadden you, believe me, because there's positive news about this. The positive news is you don't have to be a part of the system. You don't have to play the energetic rules of this system anymore. You don't have to keep lending your power to what is or isn't allegedly going to happen with a political party. You're not a political party. You are beings of love who are worthy of love, and you are grieving the loss of a system that has been slowly collapsing for at least a decade, if not two. But at least a decade from what I can observe, a little bit longer even. So now we've been kind of covering it up, you know, and you know how it goes. This happens with negative belief systems too, that when you cover something, and the more you cover it, it just, when it does rise to the top, it's like poof, in your face, right? That's what's happening. It's in our face, this truth that we no longer have a democracy. So what does that mean? It means the power of the choosing is in your hands. It's in our hands. We, the people, get to finally make choices. And yes, that's going to mean some sacrifice with a lot of gain. Sometimes a little bit of sacrifice, but a lot of gain. You know, perhaps the sacrifice is that, ultimately speaking, a lot of people lost their jobs right now and had to stay home with COVID and had to start different types of businesses or had to go on hiatus. Perhaps we're just in a cocoon and we are coming out of it. Excuse me. Still recovering from that bronchitis, let me tell you what. So there's a little bit of sacrifice, but a lot of gain. And what this means is we can no longer roll up our carpets into our garages and put the garage door down and pretend that we don't have local neighbors, friends and family and community that are now going to be required to actually talk to each other, buy food from each other, start jobs with each other, help each other with housework and children and illnesses and life, and also many other beautiful things. I'm just talking about the hard things today because it's on your minds. But the truth is, it is not going to matter who wins. Got to put a point between every word, because that's how adamant I am about this. Every portion of my spirit guidance team has told me to tell you it doesn't matter who wins. The power falls in your hands now. You don't need to be saved. You're beautiful, empowered, intelligent, talented, worthy beings of light and love, and you do not need to be saved, particularly not by a politician. So let's look deeper and put all this aside for a bit. You don't have to follow along. It takes masses and masses of people, and when you all decide together, if you're concerned about a politician and where he's going to lead, don't follow. The billions of you don't have to follow that. Do you see how empowering that is? Go vote for yourself. I love you. I'll see you later.